Hello, everybody. Welcome back to TonyPicks.com. I'm joined by Collins Brown with his two-pack NCAA tournament round of 32. A two-pack here from Collins. Before we get underway, Collins, how's it going? What's your thoughts so far on this tournament?
It's going pretty good so far. Today's been a really good day. A little stuffy right now, so I'm just going to try and get through this without sneezing or anything like that.
All right, we'll get to the first one. Of course, you've been on a roll here in the early sessions. 4-0 plus 400 units in the early sessions. So Collins has been on fire here on a Friday. Of course, we're going to film in here Friday evening here for Saturday's game. So we'll get underway here. Joined by Collins Brown. We'll get underway with the first one. Of course, everybody knows this underdog here. Princeton Tigers are the big shocker of the tournament. They're going to be facing Missouri here on Saturday. Missouri laying 8.5, total 145.5.
Yeah, this is one of those weird spots where you really don't want to go against Princeton after what they just did against Arizona, but it's also that weird spot where it could be a letdown spot, honestly. Princeton coming off a 5-0 run straight up in ATS their last five. Win against Arizona was as a 15-point underdog, so they've obviously been able to do it. Princeton's defense matches up really well with Missouri's offense if they can get them to slow down. That's what worries me about the Princeton side is because Missouri's really athletic. They're going to run the floor. They're going to force you to guard them outside the perimeter, and they're going to rebound underneath. It's going to be tough for Princeton just as far as athleticism, strength, just SEC basketball against a lesser, Ivy League basketball is what it would be considered. So off the glass, Missouri's a better team. On the perimeter, Missouri's a better team, but Princeton, if they can slow them down, Missouri is not going to have an answer. They slowed Arizona down, and Arizona didn't have an answer. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. I think you go with Princeton here.
All right, Princeton here. We're seeing now in this line. This line has moved now from opener here of 6.5. I believe we got here. Yep, 6.5 in this one here with Princeton and Missouri. Hard to argue that, right? Slowing them down, of course, that's what happens here in this NCAA tournament here is that Princeton defense and the very disciplined style there from Princeton was able to, force Arizona some uncomfortable situations there, kept them close, and, they were able to pull it out at the end.
Yeah, and it all comes down to crunch time. I talked about it last time I was on last week. It comes down to who can make that run. And if Princeton, like I said, if Princeton can slow Missouri down, that is not the game Missouri wants to play. They're a run and gun team. They've been doing it all year. If they don't score 70, 75 plus, they don't win the game. Princeton just shut Arizona down. It seems like they've got the recipe to fix it. I don't see Missouri taking them that serious enough to try and, scout or game plan. I just think they're going to try and go out there and play and run and gun, just try and be athletes. That's how I see it.
Yeah, and of course, Missouri getting past Utah State in that game. Utah State really not. They have some good offensive numbers, but they lost to San Diego State 3 times this year, and there might have been an issue stepping up in class here. But you can look at Missouri. Some of the defensive numbers have been kind of south there. They've give over almost a 48% shooting or greater here in 3 of their past 4.
Right, and that's why you run into that problem. If they're not able to run and gun you, they can't beat you.
All right.
So that's just the way. I think this is the way you play it.
There you go. You got Collins here on Princeton plus 6.5 here against Missouri. This game Saturday here at 6 Eastern time, guys. Check out TonyPicks.com. Get on board with Collins Brown. Get that 3-day pass. Get all Collins premium plays for 3 days. All his NBA, college hoops, and more. Use the promo code PICK at TonyT at checkout. You'll save 20% off. Go ahead and get signed up with Collins Brown at TonyPicks.com. All right, let's continue on here on the show. Joined by Collins Brown. All right, Collins, pick 2 here from our 2-pack here for Saturday as we look here at this Alabama team as they'll be here facing Maryland. Maryland getting past West Virginia in that first round game. Alabama looking impressive. Alabama here laying 8.5, total 148.5.
This is one of those where everything that I just told you about Missouri and why you should take Princeton, I'm going to tell you the same thing about Alabama and why you should take Alabama, right? Alabama is going to run and gun Maryland. The problem is Maryland cannot slow them down. They are not near athletic enough to keep up with what Alabama has on the outside. For me, this game comes down to one player and one player only, Brandon Miller. If Brandon Miller gives you 25, 10 rebounds, 6 assists, somewhere in there, this game's 15, 20 points. I don't think that Alabama's going to run into a team that can beat them until next go. I don't think Maryland can sniff them. What this one comes down to is can they slow Alabama's offense down? This is an offense that just put up 96 points against I can't remember who it was, but they put up 96. Maryland ain't going to go nowhere near 80. It's just it's one of those things that you just have to play. That you have to play the teams here. It's tournament style basketball. You play the teams.
All right, we got Collins here in Alabama lay the 8.5 here against Maryland. You know, Maryland, a team that had their difficulty winning away from home, and they went on a stretch where they couldn't win a road game. They only got 2 at Minnesota. I know this is neutral court game, but they finally got one there against West Virginia. What did you take out of that West Virginia win for Maryland?
Not a whole lot. I thought Maryland would beat West Virginia because West Virginia is not a very good basketball team. I just flat out, I'm just going to say it, West Virginia is not a good basketball team. So Maryland beating them didn't really – I saw it coming. So it's one of those things where it's Alabama we're talking about. Usually Alabama basketball is not going to roll. They're trying to decide. Not no more. They're running full circle. It's NASCAR. You got to keep up with Brandon Miller and every single one of their guards. And on top of this, Alabama rebounds the basketball. They tear up the glass. It's going to be so tough for Maryland to stay anywhere within 20 points in this game.
Look over their past 5 games, Alabama holding teams at 33% shooting. Collins here on Alabama late 8.5 here against Maryland. This one will have a start time 9:40 East time. It's your late game over on TBS. All right, Collins, I want you to let everybody know what you have going over at TonySpicks.com as we head into a Saturday of good action here. A lot of mix here on Saturday. You got 8 games from the NCAA tournament. Looks like they're going to try and get this NIT second round done over the weekend. CBI is in action, NBA, NHL. What we have plans going over at TonySpicks.com. As I said before, Collins here on a pretty good run here. Right now, we're going to put the numbers up. You can see 400 units of profit here. Early sessions for Friday NCAA tournament. That is all documented over at TonySpicks.com. What do you have going over at the site?
I have got all basketball, and that's really it. I've been really good today. Early session, as you mentioned. I've still got my best bet to go tonight. It's going to be at about, I think, 8, 9, or somewhere around 10 o'clock. So we'll be waiting on that one. Yeah, jump on board. I think a monthly pass is great. It's going to get you NBA. It's going to get you all the way through the NBA regular season. It's going to get you MLB first week of the regular. It should give you about 2 weeks of the regular season MLB now. And then you've still got the rest of the March Madness, NIT, college basketball. So I think your monthly CBI. So I think your monthly pass is definitely the way to go here.
That's right, guys. Got a board with Collins Brown over at TonySpicks.com. You can see here for the early sessions Friday, win. 4 straight wins. He's been on fire, guys, so get on board. He'll have a Saturday card for you from college basketball up there on the board. And, of course, the long-term pass is the way to go. That 1-month pass gets you the remainder of the NCAA tournament, all the minor tournaments out there, NBA, and, of course, the first 2 weeks of baseball. Baseball is less than 2 weeks away. So we're about ready to go with that big 16-game card when they get it going here in a couple of weeks. I believe they start on a Thursday or Friday in a couple of weeks here. So we'll be ready to roll here with Collins Brown over at TonySpicks.com. All right, Collins. Here on the show, why don't you go ahead and recap your plays here on the show?
Yeah, so we're going to go Princeton plus 6.5 against Missouri. Once again, Princeton can slow Missouri down defensively, and I think that's what you have to do in tournaments. And then we're taking Alabama minus the 8.5 against Maryland. Maryland is not going to be able to slow Alabama down, so we're going to lay the points with Alabama.
There you go, Collins Brown there over with his 2-pack for you here on the Saturday show, guys. Remember the promo code is TonyT at checkout. We get Collins sign up for Collins premium plays. Use that promo code at checkout. You can access Collins site page by clicking the link you see there in the description. Click the All Cappers tab. Go ahead and get signed up. All right, that's going to do it here for our segment here with Collins Brown. Guys, make sure you tune in again next week. We'll have Collins back on with us, so make sure you tune in. Bye, guys. You guys make it a winning Saturday. We'll catch up with you again with Collins Brown in the near future.